Fox News. Breaking news.
While the mainstream media obsesses over their latest manufactured outrage, President Trump just dropped a bombshell announcement that's going to put billions of dollars back into the pockets of American farmers and slash your grocery prices. We're talking massive loan guarantees, bureaucratic strangleholds being destroyed, and a trade deal so good that even China's President Xi couldn't say no. The Biden catastrophe left our farmers bleeding money, but what Trump just unveiled at the White House, this is a complete economic rescue operation. And the best part, the globalists and DC swamp creatures are furious because this proves everything they told you about tariffs was a lie. Stay right here. This is the story they don't want you to see. So let me tell you exactly why this matters to you and your family. Every single time you walk into a grocery store and you see those sky-high prices on beef, chicken, vegetables, and bread, that's the legacy of the Biden catastrophe. Our farmers were crushed by insane regulations, denied access to capital, and watched foreign competitors flood our markets while Washington's bureaucrats piled on more red tape. But here's what hits home. When American farmers struggle, your food prices explode. When truckers have to deal with ridiculous diesel regulations, those costs get passed straight to your shopping cart. This isn't some abstract policy debate happening in DC boardroom. This is about whether you can afford to feed your family a decent meal, and under President Trump, he understands that American agriculture is American national security. And when we depend on foreign nations for our food supply, we're vulnerable. When our farmers thrive, America thrives. And right now, this administration is taking a sledgehammer to every single obstacle that the previous administration put in the way of our food producers. This is economic warfare, and Trump just fired back. And speaking of fighting back against forces that want to keep Americans struggling, let me share something deeply personal with you. For years, Gary's wife, Angie, battled chronic pain and anxiety from her diagnosis. They went through endless doctor visits, treatments that never seemed to help. And Gary watched her struggle daily. It actually broke his heart to feel so helpless. Then our friend Jonathan Otto introduced them to red light therapy, and everything changed. Her pain vanished, her anxiety lifted, and she's sleeping soundly now. And she's full of energy and life again. And Gary's own recovery and vitality, it's better than guys half of his age. I'm not even kidding. This has been truly life-changing for the Franchi family. Here's what makes this legit. It's backed by NASA research and FDA-cleared technology. And studies show rapid pain relief and cellular regeneration that actually works. And if you or somebody you love is dealing with chronic pain, low energy, or just feeling beaten down by life, you owe it to yourself to check this out. Now let's get back to how President Trump is delivering real relief to the backbone of America. So here's what the fake news won't tell you. It's not just about what happened at the White House. President Trump didn't just announce like one relief measure. He unveiled a coordinated assault on everything that's been strangling American agriculture. We're talking about the Small Business Administration opening up loan guarantees that have never been available to farmers before. We're talking about killing the diesel exhaust fluid nightmare that was costing our producers billions. And we haven't even gotten to the trade numbers yet, because what Trump pulled off with China is going to make your jaw hit the floor. So let's look exactly what the president announced. Let's check this out. I can't wait to see it. This one's new. I'm not apprised of this situation. So President Trump says, I'm pleased to announce that the SBA.gov is opening up massive new loan guarantees to farmers and food suppliers.
In addition, to help bring down grocery costs even more, today I'm pleased to announce that the Small Business Administration, that's Kelly, is opening up massive new loan guarantees for farmers and food suppliers, including vegetable farmers, grain farmers, and seed farmers, cattle, pig, and poultry producers, grocery wholesalers, and many more. So if you're in the industry, Kelly, you better get ready. You're going to be inundated, right? It's the first time that's happened. And you know, when they say she's the head of small business, when you add it all up, it's got to be the biggest, it's like the biggest bank in the world or something. It's nothing small about it. But you'll do a job, Kelly, right? Help them out, right?
You know, a lot of businesses, they are going to benefit from this. The Small Business Administration is crucial for so many people around this country, making sure that the historically underutilized business hub zones are being effectively put out there. TIF districts and all these other things get tied into the SBA and their allotments and the cash, and it really helps these communities out and the businesses themselves. It also tells the country how they're doing. How are we doing economically? How many new businesses are there? How many failed? How many went out of business? How many have loans? How are they doing on those payments? It's all tracked and monitored through the SBA. And following the opening of new loan guarantees to farmers, get ready as we dismantle ridiculous DEF regulations to slash billions of costs. So DEF is a fluid that they have to put inside of semis to make them not smoke as much, to make them more friendly. But DEF is expensive. And we had a ridiculous Washington restriction, the so-called diesel exhaust fluid DEF requirement, Today we're announcing new guidelines drastically limiting those ridiculous DEF rules, saving farmers and consumers billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Had a ridiculous Washington restriction called the so-called diesel exhaust fluid requirement. Do you know about that? It was a basic disaster. Today, we're announcing new guidelines drastically limiting these ridiculous DEF rules, saving farmers and consumers billions and billions of dollars.
And DEF costs almost as much as a gallon of gas, and they have a whole different tank that goes inside their vehicles. They had to retrofit a lot of the old farm equipment to have that in. And that's part of the new things coming out inside of the new Caterpillar equipment and other things where all these inner systems are connected into it. And then those manufacturers stopped allowing farmers to actually work on the things that they've paid millions of dollars to have. Trump, he backdated. He got rid of that too. He's trying to help our farmers do amazing things. Remember when the Biden administration was telling our farmers to burn fields and get rid of all this and cull their flocks? We don't need them. We had hundreds of thousands of head of cattle. We came down to 80,000 when Trump came into office. That's why beef went up. That's why we had to buy so many cows from Argentina. And then we had to worry to make sure that all the little worms and stuff that came along with it, and the flies, I forgot the name of the flies. But there's so many things that come into all of these things. And if Biden administration didn't just gut all of this, we wouldn't have to rebuild it. It makes you wonder if they actually like America or not. After cutting those wasteful restrictions, we're about to dive into the massive $12 billion relief package that aims to undo Biden's damages. From Rapid Response 47, we have to further help farmers recovering from the Biden catastrophe. We use money taken from tariffs. We gave you $12 billion in farm relief. Let's see.
To further help farmers recovering from the Biden catastrophe, we use money taken from tariffs. The tariffs, we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars from the tariffs. And as I said, we gave you $12 billion in farm relief. And that happened just recently because you were hurt by certain countries unfairly. And I said you were unfairly hurt. And we gave you $12 billion. And that made up for it. I'm also asking Congress to quickly pass the new farm bill. And today I'm promising to request additional farm relief for our great patriots in the next funding bill. So we have you taken care of in both instances, and we're pushing very hard for the new farm bill.
And again, all of that goes back to helping we, the American people. I don't like paying so much money for eggs and groceries and all these other things. It's annoying, and it's expensive, and it's untenable. Fresh off the announcement of the farm relief, let's explore how the new trade deals are skyrocketing American soybean exports to China. Remember when Trump sold China rice? That was pretty cool. Let's see.
Thanks to our trade deals, you're now sending over $40 billion in American soybeans to China. I want to thank President Xi of China because we had a deal at 20, and I said, could you do me a favor? It's a big place. Could you double it? And he said, what are you talking about? I said, could you make it 40 instead of 20? And he overrode all of his people. He said, all right, I'll do it. And you got 40 instead of 20. So now you go out and buy bigger tractors. What can I tell you? Remember when that was announced, everybody was surprised. Everybody thought it was going to be 20. He was very good. But the American soybeans are now being shipped to China in record amounts.
Again, that's another win for American industry. And the left hates him because he's undoing all the damage they've done for decades. But here's the bottom line that the establishment media will never admit. President Trump's America First economic policies, they're working. He took tariff revenue, money that the so-called experts said would destroy our economy, and turned it into $12 billion in direct relief for American farmers. He personally negotiated with President Xi to double the soybean deal from $20 to $40 billion. When was the last time you saw a president pick up the phone and literally double an export agreement through sheer force of will? This is what real leadership looks like. The Biden administration left our farmers in ruins, strangled them with regulations, and told them to just deal with it. Trump is rebuilding the American agriculture from the ground up with capital access, regulatory freedom, and trade deals that actually put America first. And Patriots, what you just witnessed is the Trump administration delivering on promises, not just empty words, but real money, real deregulation, and real trade victories for the men and women who feed our nation and a lot of the world. $12 billion in relief, $40 billion in soybean exports, and billions more in savings from killing ridiculous diesel regulations, and brand new loan guarantees that farmers have never had access to before. This is what happens when you have a president who actually loves his country and fights for her people and doesn't sell all of our farmland back to China. Now I need you to do something. Share this video with every farmer, every rural American, every patriot who needs to hear the truth that the mainstream media is hiding. And while you can, text raw feed to 844-840-4963 so you get the alerts right on your phone the second we have an impactful story. Don't forget to drop a comment below and tell me, are you seeing the results of Trump's economic policies in your community? And don't forget to check out the Next News merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com to show your support for independent conservative journalism. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and remember, stay informed, stay free. I'm Tom McCullough. I'll see you in the next report. God bless.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.